Ian, a real promising start at the beginning of that game, but in the end, Newcastle's Premiership class showed.
Yeah, I think it's a strange one. We conceded 50 points, and obviously very disappointed to do so. But I suppose our targets were really about getting the lads rugby, looking at our new structures, patterns, and basically getting exposing any of the cracks that might have been in our game. That's why we played such a tough competitive fixture away from home, and Newcastle certainly did that, and I think we'll learn a huge amount from it.
Obviously, results not too important at this stage of the season. So, what really are you looking for from games like this?
Well, I think we used 32 players, which was a massive plus. So we've looked at the depth of our squad, and we've had a very, very tough 8 weeks training. So we really wanted to see where everybody stood, and we learned an awful lot about players. We learned an awful lot about our attack, about our defence. So we've 2 weeks before we play again. So really, as we said to the lads inside, it's just a massive opportunity to learn from the mistakes that we made there and improve between now and the London Irish game, and that's it. We've got to work really, really hard to improve. I think it's important that guys take it on the chin. There'll be some criticism there, to be tough reviews to look at, but we'll learn from it and hopefully be far better prepared for the London Irish game.
Obviously, there's several players not included in the 32-man squad today, so there's still quite a few possible starters as the season begins that are still due to come in.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it afterwards, and we looked at the players that are on the sideline, and we probably have 6 or 7, genuine starters there. So to use 32 players beyond that was very encouraging, and I think that'll be invaluable to them as the year goes on. And we learned a lot about some of the fringe players, and 2 or 3 players really stood up. And I think a credit to the 15 that played in the last 20 minutes were very, very inexperienced, and got a good try and worked really hard in the last 20. So I think realistic for us, the first 20 was a good reflection of where we're at. I think the pace of the game exposed us a little bit. There were cracks starting to appear around that 20-minute mark. Obviously we got a little bit of a break, but we're reasonably happy at 14-5 at half time, but we're never happy to concede as many points as we did in the second half, regardless of whether it's a pre-season friendly or not.
You mentioned London Irish in 2 weeks' time. How do you go about approaching that game after today? Obviously lots to work on, but anything specific against the Irish, or is it all about you in this pre-season?
Yeah, I think the focus is much more on us. We have a few days off now. We split up our break over pre-season rather than taking the traditional big gap in the middle. So we go into 5 days off now. We come back in on Thursday. By the time we get in Thursday, it's important we review it and work hard Thursday and Friday, I suppose, to improve on the parts of our game that we need to improve on, and then the following week we'll build into the London Irish game. Yeah, it's very much about us. I suppose the difference now is London Irish will be the favourites in the championship. They'd probably be the pinnacle of the standard that's there. So this will give us a more accurate reflection of like with like. So it was good to get that exposure today, and we would expect to be and demand to be far more competitive against London Irish.